Okay, you know what we should learn in schools that, like, for some reason we don't, is like kind of how Hitler rose to power and like like the kind of culmination of kind of like repressed angers and frustrations with like, losing the First World War and like their economy being bad and stuff, and like essentially like looking for a scapegoat and like stereotypes to like basically blame someone for Germany's problems. And like I feel like if we all like went to school and like learned exactly how that happened and learned that like, oh, there's actually like nothing really different about Jews. They just kind of made up like these narratives that they were like evil or whatever, and like all deserve to die, and like similar stuff that happened in like so many other countries throughout history, like in Rwanda, like the Hutu and the Tutsi, like really, honestly, like fictionalized ethnic groups in the region, and they turned them against each other, and they genuinely wanted to like kill each other. They were like members of the same country, and yeah, I think if like all these, you know, uneducated, sad, angry people, that have been taught to hate, if they had just really like been educated on kind of how this stuff comes like into being, or that's not a good way to say it, how this stuff like takes form, how these kind of hateful and illogical ideas and how horrible things can happen, and it starts out not seeming that crazy because it's seemingly normal people, like citizens of Germany, were turning on their neighbors because they were Jewish. And if you just said it outright, like at the very start, like before any kind of propaganda or anything had happened, like, hey, your neighbors are evil and we need to kill them all, or all the Jews, and like they'd be like, you're insane, you're absolutely insane. But it's like over time you start saying like, oh yeah, I really don't know about uh Mrs. Berkowitz or whatever, like she seems crafty, she seems like she's out to get us, and or whatever. And it could be, and it applies to like so many different situations, so many like arbitrary groups, and you start creating doubt and then sowing seeds of hate, and eventually you can get a country to want to kill a significant like amount of number of its citizens, and for no real cause at all. And yeah, it's so dangerous, and I feel like we don't learn enough about just how that happens, and it happens again and again throughout history. And like one of like the most famous quotes you ever hear in history class is, those that don't learn their history are doomed to repeat it. And like that's literally so true. And still so many people like aren't learning this history. They learn, oh yeah, Hitler was a bad guy and he killed a bunch of Jews, and that's really bad and no one should ever be like him. And it's like, it's not just like everyone in Germany was evil. It was like they were, they're like, it's like their morality was like corroded over time, or just their like minds were kind of just warped into thinking that their side or their guy or whatever was like always right. And like um and like in uh infallible, yeah, that's what I was looking for. And we just need to we need to teach our citizens the history that matters, and especially the history that we don't want to repeat. and how things, you know, happen over time, how horrible things can happen if you let them and you're not maybe not paying attention or not taking certain things seriously or going along with things just because it feels easier or convenient or whatever. It's, oh my God, we need to change how we do things, how we teach, how we learn.